All right, welcome and welcome to the Lockdown Podcast. We are here again just to talk about wrestling, talk about what's going on. We have current storylines, we have the Elimination Chamber, and we have beyond that the Road to WrestleMania. If you are looking in right now, feel free to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. All right, so we are going to kick this off mostly so current storylines. So there's a lot going on in WWE, even leading up to Elimination Chamber. You have the Judgment Day just kind of imploding. You have the new talent coming in. You have Braun Breaker possibly getting a contract. We don't know if it's Raw or SmackDown yet.
He hasn't
Um,
signed. He hasn't signed yet. I thought he
So
did.
he was there recently, and he was basically asking Triple H if which brand, and that was about the gist of it. Um, so yeah, it's kind of it's we all kind of have the feeling that he's gonna basically go after Gunther for the title. I don't know if it'll be at Elimination or it'll be at WrestleMania.
I'm gonna
So
say it's
you're
Elimination Chamber.
I mean, it would make sense. I just don't want a slow build to a new guy all of a sudden coming on. Um, so Raw right now you have Seth Rollins as the champion, you have Rhea Ripley as a women's champion, you have again Gunther as the IC title. SmackDown, you still Roman
You
Reigns and
got
his
you got Logan Paul as the United States champion,
yes,
and
you have Roman,
Damian Finn as the undisputed tag team champions.
yep, and then Io Sky. So leading into Elimination Chamber, there's not really a whole lot currently discussed. We still have a couple weeks till Elimination Chamber. So we have basically confirmed at this juncture we have Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax, which probably
We all
just
know who's gonna win
it's just
that.
going to be another Rhea victory.
Pretty
No
much.
real surprise to that ending. I don't know how you talk about Nia Jax being the irresistible force, a movable object, and anytime you get into a match with her and you're basically going to have her lose, just my prediction that they're going to basically she'll be, going for her move, which is, the basically this, jumps off the rope and basically just land on the competitor's chest. But I think Rhea will come out and jump up out of nowhere and, hit her finisher because no one can really lift Nia Jax straight off the mat unless you're Jade Cargill or Bianca Belair. Honestly, I don't think Rhea's that strong. You
No, I
have,
don't think she's that strong yet.
yeah, I now again this elimination chamber really I don't feel is that exciting anymore. For the first umpteen years it was something at the end of the year. Now as of probably about 2008, it's become a basically before WrestleMania and for the first while, honestly, Elimination Chamber, you had titles defended in it, right? And
Yeah.
from what I looked up, since 2008, about 7 or 8 of those, have been just qualifying for a match at WrestleMania, which I feel like you don't need an Elimination Chamber to do that 6-pack challenge. I don't feel Elimination Chamber really has much validity if there's not a title on the line. Like, you're putting your body on the line, in, this the structure for just a basically a glorified qualifying match. I'm not too enthused about that. I mean, women's is basically, thus far as Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. Obviously, there's still more matches to
Is
happen in the
Bianca
coming weeks.
in the match? Is she qualified?
Yeah, so Becky and Bianca are currently listed
The only two.
in the Elimination Chamber for the women's.
And for the men's
Everything
is
else, we have a couple weeks here.
Yeah, for the men's is Drew and Randy Orton right now.
Yep, just right now, that's all it is. And
Did you notice? I picked it up while watching SmackDown with Orton's match. He's
mhm,
been grabbing his back that whole time, and he looks like he's
yeah.
in a lot of pain. I think his back is starting to bother him.
Yeah, I mean, it could be kayfabe. I mean, it's tough to tell in WWE when if there's a legitimate injury or it's just applied to get us to be like, "Oh my gosh, his back hurts," and then all of a sudden you have all this power out of nowhere, and you're like, "Oh, how did he do it? He grit and bear through the pain," like, when they do chop blocks and stuff like that, they do like a little hit on the ankle or whatever, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, he's limping around," and then all of a sudden he gets in the top rope with perfect balance, and so, oh, clearly the injury wasn't really that bad.
Yeah, but I don't.
Um,
I think he's just playing a story and making it seem like he's hurt, just to
mhm,
make him seem like he's weak going into this
yeah,
match. Then he's gonna come. I think Orton's gonna come out winning this. That's
yeah. I mean,
my
I feel
opinion.
like I feel like it does make sense because you know Randy came back, and he's jacked. He's
He
and he
came
comes
back
in,
ripped.
yeah, and he comes in and wins, and that's cool, But it's like, what do you do with that? You have so many guys kind of in the mix right now, and I feel like Elimination Chamber is going to be basically stacked. Um, I I really don't like the whole Logan Paul in the Elimination Chamber. I feel like if he was defending his title, that would make sense.
I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't see him winning his qualifying match because he is a United States champion. I think
Yeah.
he might be defending his
You don't
title at the Elimination Chamber.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that would make sense considering the match card's pretty bleak.
It is
Um,
at this moment.
yeah, I think that, the match card needs to fill out a little bit more outside of just the 4 matches they have right now, and you have the Rhea title match, then you have Judgment Day versus Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, which, I mean, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne aren't gonna win. Judgment Day is gonna, pull a rabbit out their ass like they always do, and that's fine. Probably some outside interference, like, the
Like
match
always.
is yeah, I'm sick of so much outside interference right now, it's getting exhausting,
It, it's
you know?
it's they're making this since they went from the Attitude Era to now. There's been so much interference in every freaking matches. No
Yeah,
matter if it's a
it's
woman's match or a men's match, it's just getting freaking boring. That's why a lot of
yeah,
people
it
are
it's
slowly stop watching.
well, and I wouldn't say it's boring, I would say it's predictable.
That too.
You know and so you have Roman's title reign that is 90% outside, and actually probably 95% outside interference, whether it was Paul Heyman, Solo, Jimmy, or Jay, or Sammy in this case, another possibility, And so it's getting to the point where, Roman Reigns, and he's lost his luster. When he came out, and there was the whole bloodline thing, like Sami Zayn made the bloodline more entertaining, you know, a while back. Like they were watching the Bloodline storyline because of Sami Zayn, not because of Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And I think that I just think the Bloodline needs to go. I don't I don't like it. I think it's boring. I think it's stale. And I think that, the way that the storyline with the Bloodline is going as of, the last while, it's kind of
I'm just glad Jay stepped away from it and doing a lot better. And you got
yeah.
Jimmy that's still staying in it. He's just looking like a
Yeah,
piece.
it's
He just
it's more
looks
in
really bad.
well, and it's like they've already basically laid it out about how like Solo is the tribal heir and not even Jimmy. So and I feel like Jimmy can't do it by himself. Jay was the guy. Jay's always been the guy. When Jimmy was out, what did he do? Went freaking
He
solo,
carried it.
and so like the Usos aren't as relevant anymore because of the fact that Jay has more star power than Jimmy. When you get the main event Jey Uso tag, dude, like that means you're better. You're better than your brother. And I don't see, as soon as Roman loses, and he better lose at WrestleMania.
Oh, he
He
better.
better lose. And so it's he needs to lose, and he needs to be done, and he needs to just go. And so Roman without a title is nothing. So I mean, I don't think Roman is as valid without a championship. So I hope to the good Lord above that Cody wins, finishes the story, Roman goes to Hollywood, bye,
Go to
do us all
Hollywood
a favor.
with The Rock, his cousin,
Yeah,
or whatever.
if you got a chance to watch that, um, this basically the WrestleMania kickoff show thing, which I don't think they've ever done. And
No, 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 this is the first.
I think the only reason why they did it was because of The Rock. But like I'm over The Rock. We don't need any of these part-timers coming back. And the fact that we already have a saturated roster with potential world champions, it made it more interesting back then, when you had titles change more often. You got more star power and more, oh, is he going to lose today? Oh my gosh, he lost. Crowd goes wild. Like, we need those aha moments back in WWE because at this current juncture with with the champions, you have Logan's never there. He's basically back for PLE and WrestleMania, you know, insight. You realistically, basically Raw is the A show at this point
Oh,
because Gunther
it's
defends it.
me opinion. It's always been the A show. It's always been the best show. I prefer Raw over fucking SmackDown.
Well, because Gunther is a fighting champion. Seth
Seth
is
is
a
the
fighting
fighting fan.
champion. And I in that press conference, even though essentially like it was, a little bit storyline predictable, I think that, you know, when you have The Rock versus Roman, there's no story to it.
There's not.
There's
There's
no
no meaning
beef.
to it.
There's no beef. They were sitting on the same side. The fact that
Yeah,
they're on
they're
the same
backing each other
side,
up.
and the fact that they're on the same side, you know, that there's no storyline, there's no beef, there's no reason for that match other than money. And at this current juncture, no one wants you, Rock. No one wants you. You came back, and we all knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming. It was predictable as anything else. And so the fact that you came back, no one cares. No one cares that you came back. We all knew it was coming. There's no reason for you to be here. You're not going to beat Roman. And if you do, big whoop. What are you going to relinquish the title? There's there's no like good scenario to that match.
And plus,
Zero.
yeah, plus if you had The Rock and Roman taking each other on at WrestleMania, it's like two freaking part timers.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need part-time versus part-time. That doesn't make a
Because The
full-time.
Rock only makes appearance once a year.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's pointless. Like, go away, go back to Hollywood. You don't clearly the fans don't want you there.
Yeah,
We've
at
all
the
like,
press conference, I pulled up a video on here, and it's from fans recorded there while they're there while The Rock is talking. They were booing him, and they were chanting Maui, where they had that burning fire.
yeah,
They're still not going to forget about that, what he did him and Oprah, and everybody is talking about who his tag team partner at WrestleMania is going to be. Oprah.
yeah. I there's there was no point in him coming back, and the fans are like chanting, "We want Cody, not Rock. We want Cody, not Rocky." Like, you know, and now you're to the point where the fans are they're just fed up with The Rock. And like no one cares if he comes back with a heel character. Big freaking whoop. You're not a regular wrestler anymore. You know, like Michael Cole when they complain they're calling, Rocky sucks, whatever, is like, oh, we're back in 1996. Yeah,
Yeah,
because he
I
was
laughed my ass off when that
dude,
when he said that.
Michael Cole is a G, bro. This dude has been in the business for 25, 30 years, dude. The guy is probably the greatest commentator in sports entertainment because he knows his stuff. He ain't
Oh yeah.
he like this guy's been doing this business for a long time, you know. And so, you know, we need and the thing is I think the fact that now that Vince is officially gone, I think that now that when Triple H takes the role, which he basically flat out said, I don't care who sits at the table. They answer to one person, you're looking at him. And so the fact that Triple H I think is going to get basically full creative control from TKO, they're going to be like, okay, now we got someone who is in the business, knows the business. He doesn't have any tomfoolery going on. He doesn't have any BS going on. And this dude's going to take us to the next
And
level.
plus on top of it, I was sitting there listening to Pat, Big E, CM Punk, and Michael Cole, and I
Yeah.
kind of agree with Pat about Cody has a lot on him. You got The Rock that is on the freaking board. He has a seat at the board, and he has strings and pulls. He could
Well,
probably try to overrule Triple H.
like the thing is I don't think it's going to happen. I think
I
that
don't either, but
he might
I'm just
he
putting
let
that out there.
for all intents purposes to basically screw Cody. I think he'd want to be like guest referee or something. Which I think would be stupid on WWE's part.
It'll be stupid if he's the guest referee or outside referee. Either one of them, it's just going to be stupid.
The Rock needs to stay out of
He
what's
just
going
needs
on
to
in
stay in
WWE.
Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be on TKO, that's fine. You want to be part of the brand, that's fine. We would love your insight.
Yeah,
We
he can give us
you're
he could be in the inside on TKO, like helping with storylines or
yeah
helping with the new talent grow, whatever. Stay
yeah
behind the scenes.
yeah because I mean he has a family that like with his mom that was a great mind of wrestling in general, good storyline building, kind of the originator of building storylines. So, he can do it. Just don't be in the front. Don't be in the front, everything, stick to the back,
He just wants the damn spotlight on him.
which we don't want. You know, if if you listen to the fans at this point, we don't want you, Rock. You're done. Bye. Go sit in the back.
Yeah, you're in the attitude
We
era. Just stay back there.
Yeah. I mean, we have so much roster talent right now. It is insane. You know, and especially the fact that you have, NXT guys coming up, Braun Breaker's on the way to
Oh,
basically,
I'm glad he's finally getting that push.
yeah,
I
and so you have
think the main reason why I think he's getting that push now is because they need somebody like him up there because Brock Lesnar, he can't come back with the whole thing with him
Vince,
and
yeah.
Vince McMahon and all that crap.
Yeah.
Pretty much Brock Lesnar just pretty much retired from wrestling. And they need
Yeah, and
somebody with
you need a
Brock
resident
Lesnar style.
you need a resident badass is all you need. Badass Braun
Pretty
Breaker,
much.
baby.
Well,
I don't care where he goes. I don't care where he goes.
has the fastest speed off those bouncing off those
23
ropes.
miles an hour, dude.
Yeah, I watched that. I'm like,
did
holy
you
shit.
did you see did you see the match at NXT with him and Baron versus Trick Williams and Kamala Hayes, and he like almost
Yeah.
could have freaking died. The dude hit that rope so freaking hard, but like came off it like it was nothing. Like Braun, like the dude is legit. The dude is 100%
He
legit.
is, me personally, my opinion, he is the next big thing. He's the new, improved, better Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like he's not as big as Brock Lesnar,
No.
but like he has the strength and the agility. Plus, he's got more speed than Brock.
Oh yeah.
Like
More speed.
you
He
know,
doesn't have as much muscle as Brock,
yeah. I
but
mean,
more
he's got
speed than Brock.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he's got but like he could be that he can get in that physique. He could get even stronger than he already is. And
Oh yeah.
so and then also you have Carmelo Hayes kind of eking into main roster call up. Um, I think some of the NXT call ups were kind of a dud. Like Pretty Deadly is kind of a dud. When they brought up Hit Row, that was a dud. And so I think they need to be careful of how they plan to bring call ups. Just in the sense
I
of like,
noticed to say, yeah, I noticed a lot of their call ups lately is not been going so great on their end.
yeah,
And not getting the pop like they did when they were in NXT. Because
right.
you
Well,
have
and
to
the
look
thing,
at it. The way I tell some people, I look at it like this: you got the main roster audience, and then you
right.
got the NXT audience. They're different. There's different vibes.
Yeah. Well, and I think the thing is, I think NXT is more because it's a smaller brand in the developmental center or whatever. Like you have to wait till you do those PLEs like they did in Tennessee to see how those performers can perform in main roster regular stadium shows to see what's going to happen, what's the pop, you know, I mean, that's what it's all about. It's all about the pop. If you can draw a pop, dude. And the thing is, I think that people need to watch all the brands to understand the character development. Because if you don't know. You just think these are some average schmucks, right? Before NXT was live broadcast and it was just basically something you watched on Peacock or WWE Network. Now that it's on mainstream, you can watch it every week on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock. And you can see the development. And when they get their call up, you'll be like, okay, dude, this dude was legit in NXT. And I'm like, oh man, done. Now he's got to that main roster. Same thing with like Grayson Waller, Austin Theory. Like, you know, you had these guys. If you watch the product, you'd understand when he gets called up that he's legit business. And
And
so,
With Braun, I think it took them. It took them a long time to get brought up. Everybody thought he was going to get brought up last year after WrestleMania, but
yeah,
I think he wanted to put a postpone on it and get more time in NXT.
yeah. I mean, but the thing is, it's all about timing, right? And
Pretty
so,
much.
the fact that they put him in the Royal Rumble, dude balled out. The dude came in like a freaking wrecking ball. And so the fact that he got that much credibility at Royal Rumble, that's definitely justifiable for a call up. And so now, so again, it's okay. So we'll kind of roll over to so Elimination Chamber really doesn't matter. There's no title changes at Royal Rumble. I mean, at Elimination Chamber,
Elimination Chamber.
maybe if Logan puts his title on the line. I don't think so.
Oh,
You
he
know,
better.
they're calling
It
for.
most likely be against Kevin Owens again.
I mean, the thing is like the Elimination Chamber should be for a title, period. Even if they retain, because you have the majority of the Elimination Chamber. I think I said like 7 or 8. So then you're talking, the other 7 or 8 where it had titles on the line. And even if the guy retains, that's fine. But at least have some pizzazz, some possibility of what could happen. But when you put when you basically have a glorified 6-pack match, elimination chamber, these guys are putting themselves on the line for what? Just a chance? I mean, you could get legitimately hurt in that match
Oh
for
yeah,
just a just
that
for an opportunity.
elimination chamber it's like a hell in a cell. It's that bad.
Well, I mean, the thing is like Hell in a Cell is one of those matches that was created as a culmination of like a rivalry, right? So Hell in a Cell never really had to be about titles. But the fact that Elimination Chamber, you have these 6 people in there putting their bodies on the line, doing God knows what, just for a title match, while the other guy sits on the sidelines not doing anything at Elimination Chamber. Like I understand the fact that Seth Rollins basically kind of playing it easy, which is fine because of his knee stuff. You know, he's taking it easy. He's not wrestling. He's not going to wrestle to WrestleMania most likely.
Pretty much. I think
And
they're gonna I think they're having them take a rest and not do so much right now and hold off to WrestleMania to they find out who his opponent is in the elimination chamber match.
yeah,
Hopefully it's somebody good.
well, and I think that being that if you track back a little bit, maybe 4 or 5 years when of the heights of the century that Seth Rollins cashed in at WrestleMania. Now, so now you kind of have it. You're playing it back if it ends up being Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. And so if you kind of run that back, kind of Randy Orton, Seth Rollins 2.0. Now, do I? So I feel like that's the match that we need to see. But again, we got 4 guys to go. We got 4 women to go to see what happens. You know, now, but the looming question is Damian Priest, Senior Money in the Bank, right? I think it's been the most lackluster Money in the Bank holder in history. You know, the fact that they have the titles, which they've lost their luster. They're not defended. They're not defended because they're dual title holders. And I say this,
I think he's gonna me personally, I think he's gonna cash in that briefcase at WrestleMania like Seth did like a few years ago.
and he's gonna cash in on him.
Yep.
That's what we hope. We
My
hope
fingers are
that
crossed. I'm hoping.
because that like he needs to get rid of it eventually. I mean, I
He
think
has it always to he can hold on to it to the day of WrestleMania or the day after WrestleMania.
well, no,
And then
he has till the length of a year of Money in the Bank, and I'm trying to figure out when Money in the
they
Bank
should be having
actually
Money in the
is,
Bank
but
coming up here soon.
yeah, I look here. So Money in the Bank is it is oh that's last year. But so when you have the briefcase, you have it for a year, and you have a year to cash in. So it looks like it's not till July. Now, anything leading up to that, I mean, I just think that you have other PLEs, but I feel like you said, WrestleMania would be the the primo, cash in time. But I just feel like WrestleMania would be the best to do it because but I feel like they need to lose the tag titles before he wins a championship. But you have Backlash, you got yeah, so I mean you're only about 2 PLEs away from the Money in the Bank, 2024.
When
So
is the Money in
it
the
has
Bank?
to be. Money in the Bank is in July. So we're in February, March, April, May, June, July. So you have 4 months, but you only have about 2 PLEs. So it would make more sense to be on a bigger platform to cash in.
Yep, that's why I say WrestleMania. That's why he's been
Yeah,
giving off
I
the
think
hints every time he comes out to do it, but
you know,
he's saving it for WrestleMania.
here's a curveball though. What if he is one of the few that lose this cash in? What if Seth Rollins, let's say hypothetically he faces, Randy Orton at WrestleMania and he goes to cash in and he hits an RKO out of nowhere, Randy Orton wins the match. That, because I don't think
That I could see.
because that would make sense because, you have the his Money in the Bank reign has not been all that entertaining. Drew's been continuing to screw him over, which is good TV. You can
Oh yeah, it
love or
is.
hate Drew McIntyre, but honestly, like how he is now, and just kind of this, he's like he's like a he's like a face heel, and like he's not really getting booed too much. He's not really getting praised too much. Um, so Drew's kind of in a sweet spot right now, where like kind of he could go either way, but I like it just kind of stinks, from Drew McIntyre the fact that he held the title, twice
With no
during
audience,
the pandemic era.
yeah, with no audience, and he's won the
You know,
WrestleMania
and I
with no
feel like
audience.
yeah, and I feel like Drew needs that. But it's like
He
again,
wants it.
you have a lot of people that would be good competitors to Seth Rollins for the championship. Because you could have Roman, you could have Drew. I would prefer, Randy versus Drew, but I mean, we don't have the insider scoop here, guys. This is not a podcast where like we're rattling off, PW Insider and Wrestling Observer Radio. Like we don't have that. We're just straight up just
We're just
our own
straight up.
thoughts.
Yeah, this is our thoughts. We're
You know,
just normal
yeah,
fans like everybody else.
and so
We don't got the hookups. We don't
yeah,
know
I mean,
people inside and
we're
out.
like we don't have a full staff like, some of these that are bigger podcasts, where they have all these cool animations and all these
Well,
cool graphics.
don't get us wrong. We do watch them and get point of views on what
Yeah.
they think, and then we
Yeah,
come in with
and
what
I
we think.
appreciate the ones that do the legwork so, fans like us can at least, pontificate with them of what the rumors could be, what could happen, what scenarios could play out, and so like I I'm looking forward not to elimination, but what are they going to do with WrestleMania? What are they going to do, with this whole Rock being on TKO's board? Because they were saying part of his contract at TKO that he basically had a title match. Now, I
That's
don't know if I
probably the
bel
only reason why he's signing on to be a part of that board because oh
yeah,
yeah, he's
and
gonna get one
so
more
like
run at a championship.
and but like I just not now, just not now. There is way too
Maybe
many
for like
story
next year.
there is way too many storylines going on currently that we don't need The Rock. We don't need him. We don't want him. Like even at like that press event, dude, no one's like, the only time any crowd involvement was positive when he said millions and millions. That's it. Everything else was Rocky sucks. And so, I think Elimination Chamber is going to be maybe a B minus. I really don't have much hopes and dreams for Elimination Chamber on what's going to happen, but you know, SmackDown is just a part-time championship show. Logan needs
Pretty
to
much.
go. Like Logan has a contract, but it's not like he's there every week. So like I don't know how like he's a good wrestler. I don't take anything away from the fact that he's learned the craft of wrestling, but he's not there. He's not there. He doesn't show up. He doesn't have regular wrestling matches like every other bit of talent on the rosters. And if he did, I would think differently. And if they want the Logan Paul rub in the clientele, then have him on the show regularly. And so I
So say, don't get me
if he
wrong.
fought more, I would be
Let's
okay.
say I'm not a super big fan of Logan. Don't get me wrong, I do like him, but for a celebrity that's coming in and taking the time to learn the craft of wrestling, he has the skills. He just got a lot more
Well,
ways to move up. And
I just
plus,
feel like
he needs
if
to
he
be
was
on the
gonna
show every week.
every week, every couple weeks, just something, anything. Give me more. If you like, how are you getting the rub if he's not there? Like
Hmm.
signing him was basically apply to get his YouTube followers to watch the product. If he's not there, you've done nothing to get his followers to follow the product. So I don't know. I mean, whatever. I guess. I mean, but like I said, SmackDown is kind of boring. You
And
don't
plus,
have
if you notice the ratings, I've been looking up the ratings each week when Logan's not there. The ratings are a little higher because that's his followers that are watching him. And when he's not there, the ratings are not that great. Raw has higher ratings than SmackDown. But
well because
When
Raw
Logan's
has
there, the ratings a
well the
little
thing
bit
is
higher than
like
Raw.
but like I said is that like there's when you have people there, that's what matters. You have SmackDown with two not even part-time. Logan's worse than Roman. Roman talks
He's
about
like,
being such a badass and such all this stuff, but he's not there. Like I don't even care if you fought in tag matches, dude. I don't care if you were just on the outside the ring. Just be there.
yes, Seth
You
made
can't
it loud and
you
clear about how he felt
you
the
can't
way he.
talk about Roman's his validity if he's not there. Like, I'm trying to look up his literally his history because I really just he's not there, dude. I think he probably fights maybe let's see here.
I still like what Seth said.
2023. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 times. He wrestled at 2 live shows, but other than 3 live shows. But he basically wrestled 8 times. 8 times in a year.
Who, Roman?
Yeah. So he fought at Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber. Oh, sorry, Road to the WrestleMania show. That's actually a live show as well. So 7 times on TV. 7 times in a year. Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and Crown Jewel in Royal Rumble. That's it. That's it. That's pathetic. Seth Rollins has defended his title more times in a year than Roman has in the 3 years.
Yeah,
Like
Seth's defended
if
his
you
title
really want to
every
go
freaking week.
if you really want to go back, it's I'm over it. He doesn't show up.
I like Roman, but I'm just getting sick of this whole not defending, not being there every week. Yeah, they wanted to have him hold on that freaking title. I think he's about almost 2 years
But
now.
your reign doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Gunther,
it
honestly, current
Gunter's
current
Gunter
out.
and Seth's reigns matters.
Well, the thing is that Gunther's at 600 days as of recent show, right? So 600 days. So I would probably say in his 600 days, he's defended his title more than Romans has in his 1,200-day reign. So how it it's a the basically the B titles are basically the working man title, right? Logan's not doing anything. Roman is not doing anything. And so you basically have no one cares about SmackDown. No one cares because there's no titles there. There's no qualifying matches. There's no fatal four ways for titles. You basically have run the mill a bunch of tag team matches, right? You have tag team matches that basically, what do they even do? Like you have useless storylines never leading to a tag team title defense because one, you have two titles on two people, so you don't have them split up. And I'll say this again: split the freaking titles up already because it, you're not entertaining. The Judgment Day doesn't run anything.
No, they
I'm
don't.
more entertained by R-Truth in the last 3 months than I have been Judgment Day's whole
Uh,
year-ish run.
our Truth is the best member.
R-Truth is a G, dude.
He's the best. Every time I see him either live when he's live on TikTok or when he's live on Instagram, I always sit there and he actually responds to a lot of my messages when I say something in there.
Well, because
I,
he's a
I
real person.
yeah,
Like,
he actually will sit there and talk to his fans, and
yeah,
that's the
I
one
mean,
thing I like about him.
and the thing is, R2's been going strong for probably 20 plus years. And he doesn't like he's the guy that keeps the morale and the entertainment up. You know, and so, oh, man, and now we're to the point now where we have so many groups and factions. We're oversaturated with factions. You know,
Pretty much every Raw and SmackDown, there's a lot of them.
yeah, I mean, you got the Karrion Cross group, you got Alpha Academy, you got Judgment Day, you got the New Day,
Yep.
you got the Bloodline. I mean, it's to the point where, like, what's the plan for these factions? Like, is AOP going to do something, or are they just going to be some developmental product? Because if you don't win titles, no one cares, and I get it. To them, it's not. They're in the business for the entertainment factor of it, and that's fine. But to call your tag team titles, oh, they're so great, and your championship reigns are so great, but you don't do anything with them beyond that. Like, I just feel like you're basically watering down the product. That's why the Attitude Era and everything. We'll say from 90 to 2010, maybe 2015, when you had titles switching hands all the time. That was the aha. Like I said earlier, we want those oh my gosh moments, that this is awesome stuff. We want those chants to mean something, not just okay, cool, this match is aggressive. Cool. I
It hasn't even been a oh my god moment in freaking forever.
yeah,
I think the only oh my god moment I could remember is when Cody Rhodes came back and Bray Wyatt came back.
yeah. That still sucks about Bray Wyatt. R.I.P.
I
man.
know it does suck. I seen a video a couple days ago. His fiance posted the last text message that she had from him.
I mean, at least we got to see the real side before his passing. Like,
I do like the way his brother's carrying on his legacy.
yeah, I really hope that they continue, his story, his drive, his everything, because I think we need it, not as just fans but as people.
Mm.
Because you have a guy who suddenly passed, and there's a lot of unanswered storylines that could have been. And so, I hope they do something with Bo Dallas. I hope they, like,
And
you
hopefully
know,
Bo Dallas comes out and brings this out with him.
right? Oh, you savage. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think Elimination Chamber is what, the end of this month?
Yeah. Let me see.
Trying to think. It's
February. It's February the next Saturday, the
18th.
24th
Yeah, so next Saturday.
at 4:30
Or
a.m.
actually, no, it's actually it says live Saturday, February 18th, but that's actually a Sunday. That's weird.
Yeah,
But
and they're gonna be streaming it at 4:30 in the fucking morning. That's the time of the kickoff show. I'm
yeah,
not
so I think
watching
it's
it. I'll
actually
be
February
I'll
18th
be
for
getting up
us.
for work.
Yeah, so it's technically February 18th for us, I guess, or for them, but it's technically on a Sunday for us. I don't know how it all works out. But yeah, I mean, so we'll kind of leave it at that, and if you just like the average conversation of wrestling, feel to like and subscribe. I mean, shoot us messages. What things you want covered.
Yeah, you can always
And
hit
we'll
us up on some of our social medias.
yeah. And so I mean, this will post to YouTube and the Lockdown Podcast X page as well. Tim will probably share it on his socials as well. So let's see what Elimination Chamber brings, and we will probably have another show after Elimination Chamber, um, just to kind of see where things lie. Just because we still have, like I said, we still have, you know 4 men left, 4 women left. More titles to possibly be defended. So, thanks for listening, guys. And this is the Lockdown Podcast. Deuces.